electric ton of wind coming my way, directly into my glasses. I'm not joking, guys. I am here. Where the fuck am I here? I'm directly in the ghetto, as it seems.
In the ghetto.
I hope I don't get raped, but it would be totally my fault, of course. I mean, look at me, because I'm dressed so well. It's unbelievable. I know some of you are dying to know how my next situation has turned out. You know the situation from last week, and it's... And as you can see, it turned out perfectly. Perfectly. So I can only say one thing. Right? I think that's it. I also have good news regarding the boosted board, or maybe good news, because I've ordered a tool that might be able to resurrect both batteries, which is good because the boosted board was $1,800 and the two batteries were 1,400 euros, actually, not dollars, euros actually. And yes, it is a little bit more because I bought it from a European company, and you know, taxes and all those things. So yeah, quite a lot. The tool that might save the board, on the other hand, was only $90 or so. So maybe we can bring it back to life, which would be great because we are losing a ton of money. Well, not a ton of money, but some bands, at least, some rags.
Here is our light of death on boosted board battery number 1. So what I'm trying to do now is I try to connect my boosted board battery number 2. If you remember, or if you have seen the last episode, both of those batteries died, so we are 1,400 down. But also the boosted board is not usable anymore. Another $2,000, as we have already established, and I'm trying to use this bird tool, that's what it's called, with the nice flashy blue lights to repair the two battery packs. And it should technically work. I don't know, but I think we are about to find out. So let's see if this little thingy can do some magic here. Hours have passed and I decided to switch over to battery number 1 because it didn't really look like the bird tool was doing anything here. But then I found out I forgot to plug in the battery. So it was totally my fault because I did not close the electrical circuit. Anyway, we are now at battery number 1 and the bird tool is actually doing something here. It actually looks quite good. Maybe it will work. If not, yeah, whatever. I mean, why am I even doing this? I'm completely wasting my time. Why am I repairing e-skateboards? What is going on here? It's a total waste of time. Have passed and I switched back to battery number 2 just for giggles. No, there wasn't really progress to be seen on battery number 1, therefore I went back to battery number 2. We need all of them to be green Alright, I have no idea what these LEDs even mean. Blue, pink, flashy, flash. No clue. I only know that we need at least all of them, we need all of them to be green. That's it, so let's check out what the other things mean. All of that makes sense. We are approximately here and we need to be there. Okay. I think I should also check how long it takes the bird light tool, that's what the tool is called, to repair the batteries entirely. Alright, I need a break. I definitely need a break because I've just found out that it might take 2 weeks for the battery to be repaired. 2 weeks! Come on, 2 weeks. Are you? Nah, come on. No. And I have 2 of them, which is a month. Who is waiting a month for batteries to be repaired? It's so retarded. I'm not waiting a month. Nope, not going to happen.
So I did what I had to do. I did what needed to be done, which means I bought a new board.
We have reached the unboxing part of this clip. It comes with a thank you letter, which you can see and read here if you want to. I don't. A manual, which I completely ignore. Some skate tools, other tools, replacement screws and replacement belts. The charger and the remote control, that's it. Super short and compact.
And the new board is kinda, it's kinda cool. Kind of not so cool. So the cool things, 8 horsepower. So this board has 8.1 horsepower. Top speed 43 miles per hour, which is roughly 70 kilometers per hour. A little bit less because I am quite heavy in comparison. And the range. The range is almost unlimited, I would say. It's between 40 and 50 miles, which is also great because we are talking about 60 kilometers plus. Thank you. We will find out if that is true or not, but it sounds great though. See that blue guy over there? This thing is also called the blue alien. No, wrong. The friendly alien. That's the name. You got me confused here for a second, guys. The friendly alien. Not sure if it really is friendly. Top speed, acceleration, and range are the best things about this board. Of course. 3 of the most important parts ever, but there's one more important part, which is safety. Not so good on that part, ladies and gentlemen. Safety is not so good.
Right after receiving the board, I checked every screw and nut, and as you can see, they were all entirely loose. So I did what I always do, which is taking the whole thing apart, because I don't trust people. And right I was, after disassembling the entire board, screws, nuts, motors, everything, I put it back together. I added thread locker and improved the safety aspects by about 4 billion% or so. Then I took it out for a test ride and quickly realized that one of the wheels was defect. Not good. You can hear a clicking sound twice every single rotation, every 180 degrees. Vroom, 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 It's very subtle, but you can hear it if you listen closely. This is a skateboard wheel, and this white part is the inner part of a skateboard wheel. And this pocket is for the ball bearings. And there are 2 of them on every wheel. And in the middle, in between, here, that area, the entire area, is called the spacer channel. And as you can see, the spacer channel is very, very flat. And this is really, really important. The bearing pockets as well as the spacer channel, that's the word I'm looking for, as well as the spacer channel need to be machined very, very precisely. We are talking about 4 to 5 hundredths of a millimeter, which is roughly half the thickness of a single hair. This is a ball bearing. This is another ball bearing. And this little dude is not a nose. It is a spacer. And this is how it goes. It takes one ball bearing here, the other one needs to go on the inside, and in between goes the spacer, which in the end looks something like this. And after putting everything together, you have a finished wheel. Then the entire unit goes right onto your axle. And if safety is as high in your books as it is in mine, you will also use thread locker before securing the nuts. You put a little bit up here and needs to be secured with a washer and a self-tightening, self-securing nut. And lock it in place. You don't really have to push it to the limits just until it stops, because the rest will be done by the thread locker and the self-securing part of the nut. If you have done everything perfectly, then you will end up with a smooth ride. And that's exactly where the problem with this wheel comes in. I took the entire wheel apart, and as you can see, the whole manufacturing process of this piece is horrible. As well, I stopped the clip here a little bit, you can see a very hard edge inside the spacer channel. And if you remember, this shouldn't be here. It should be very smooth. And as you can see, the spacer channel is very, very flat. I took a file and also took matters in my own hands and decided to repair the spacer channel as well as the pockets for the bearings to make this wheel work. Yes, I could have asked for a replacement wheel because it's new, but I'm the kind of guy that solves problems without sending emails, preferable. And I also deburred it. I successfully succeeded in repairing the wheel even without a turning lathe. Should you also repair your wheel if that happens to you? Guys, I don't know. That's a decision you have to make. For me, that's pretty easy because I have learned how to drill, how to mill, how to operate a turning lathe, a milling lathe, a CNC operated machine. So manually operated, CNC operated, it doesn't really matter. I can drill, I can even produce steel from scratch because I've worked as a metal technician, if you so will, way back in the day, because I'm 258 years old, and therefore for me it's way easier and faster to repair stuff like that instead of taking pictures, taking videos, I mean, lastly I do anyways, and then sit down to write some emails to the company, wait for a reply, wait for the spare part to arrive, and then start the whole process of changing the wheel. No, why is repairing the wheel even important, you ask? Let's assume that this is our wheel for this demonstration, this fat grip. is just a raw material that we need to create our inner wheel, okay? That's just for demonstration purposes, keep that in mind. Now, how can we transform our raw material into the perfect inner wheel? Well, perfect question, guys. First, we need a spacer channel and we need two pockets for the bearings. And the best way to fulfill our task is by using a turning lathe. So a turning lathe has some claws, okay? Imagine some claws. And these claws, they grab our material, and it is very, very important that this is centered. Because only if it is centered, we can create the perfect inner wheel. Which means, if this is centered, the machine can turn it evenly. And with that tool, we can reshape our wheel any way we want by removing material on the outside as well as on the inside. I hope you can follow so far. So we can use this tool to build and create two perfectly aligned pockets. And that's why it's so important that this little thingy is centered. Because if it is not centered, it will start to wobble. And if it wobbles, we cannot create parallel sitting bearing pockets. If your bearing pockets are not aligned parallel to each other, the wheel will start to wobble. And if your wheel starts wobbling, OMG, that might end in a very bad accident. You don't want that. I made another call, guys. I decided to let Uncle Bert repair the batteries. We are now at roughly 80%, 70 to 80 as you can see here. And I know I said I won't wait for it to be repaired, but we are down almost 5 grand this episode on this day so far. If we can manage, or if Uncle Bert can manage to repair both batteries, we could save at least $1,400 as well as the boosted board for 2 grand. And maybe you want to know if this tool is even capable of repairing the batteries. Maybe you are in the same position as me. So I think I have to wait for it to be finished, right? Science, that's the reason. For science-based reasons. Yeah, that's what we do. We do a case study here. We have another battery that's being charged right now. In that case, it's a car battery. Oh, wait a second. I think it's finished. Yeah, it's done. Well, even better. Perfect. Even better. You probably know how that goes. If you have several cars, chances are pretty high that you don't use every single car all the time. Or at least chances are pretty high that you barely use all of them, or at least some of them. But on the other hand, even if you only have one car, you might not drive it quite often. And that means that you have to charge the battery from time to time. Because if you don't drive your car will drain the battery 24/7, no matter what. But if you do drive the car, well, then the alternator is doing the job for you. So, charging batteries, basically, that's what my life is at the moment, charging batteries all the time. I don't know why did we end up here? I mean, somehow life has become very dull. There's not a lot of things to do anymore. I don't know why. Maybe it's just me. Anyways, we have to do some adult things in just a moment. So we have something to do, actually, today.
All right. Don't like it. Let's do some adult things. Some things for grown-ups.
Standing on the edge, with the sand under our feet, and we felt like like we made it. And now
We have learned that nothing can stop me. Nothing, because I ignore all the rules. So take that as a life advice. Nothing can stop you if you ignore all the rules. Exactly.
there, and it feels like summer.
Today's outfit is called the Joker. For obvious reasons, I guess.
Oh, it feels like summer. It feels
Das ist
like
normal, das haben wir auch nicht.
We are now at the notary office for appointment number 1 out of 4, and without giving too much away at this stage, for bigger sales a conveyancer is required, and it's probably the best and safest way too.
and it feels like summer. It feels like summer. Oh, it feels like summer. It feels like summer. Hey, hey, hey. There was something in
The mission, doing adult stuff, is accomplished. Mission successfully accomplished, which is great because we are losing money. Up to that point, we were losing money, I should rather say.
Winter's come and gone. I'm 17 again.
Which is exactly why we should take a look at Uncle Bird. OMG. Look at me. Uncle Bird did it. Everything is green. I think Uncle Bird did it. Unbelievable. There is only one way to find out. Moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see if it works. That's good so far. Oh yeah. Will the wheels turn, ladies and gentlemen? Trigger. Holy guacamole! Safe to say it works. Alright, cheese. Let me turn that back so you see what's going on. Alright, cheese. So, Uncle Bird, here. What a camera angle. See that? Completely bayham. So, Uncle Bird absolutely saved the day, which means we have not lost money on the boosted board. 2 grand saved again. Also, 1 battery. I think it was $700, as I said earlier. And now I've connected the second battery or the first battery. I lost track. I tell you how it is. So hopefully Uncle Bird can repair the other battery too. That would be great. I also call this the Skeletor mug. It's not Skeletor, but I know he hates He-Man, so Skeletor mug. Just as a side note, very important news. We have answered many questions so far. Can the Bird tool repair our battery? It can. Hopefully it can repair the other one too. I'm very confident it will be able to do so. Question number 2. Can we hit our goal? No. We overachieved because we've sold 4 of our properties. Yeah, I'm not a real estate agent. We are selling our properties. So if you're looking for your first home or your maybe forever home or maybe both, your first forever home, get in contact with me. We have 2 more units left. I think we started with 12 or something like that. We have 2 more left. Some are on the market, some we took off. Long story. Something for the next episode or one of the next episodes. Anyhow, we have 2 units left. One of them is already reserved, so maybe only 1 is left. But as long as the money is not in the bank account, it's not sold. At least that's my philosophy. So reserved, yes, but only for a certain amount of time. We might drop more in the future. I don't know. We will see. But so far, there's 1, maybe a half. 1 or 2 are left. Anyways. And I met a guy who had only 24 hours to live. Very, very short lifespan. And he wanted to smoke a cigar, so I tried to do him the favor.
Think of you. Oh, it's taking me back there, taking me back there. And it feels like summer.
dropped my phone on the guy sitting next to me. You can see him? Well, this little fella is a mayfly. They usually live less than 2 days. Most of the time, they don't even make it through one. I think he wanted to smoke a cigar with me. But unfortunately, my lighter didn't work.
Are you kidding me, oder?
Very, very sad, because I couldn't grant him his last wish. As Mick Jagger once said, you can't always get what you want.
Fantastic. I'm still in the ghetto. In the ghetto. Danke, danke. Es ist nur ein Brett. It is just a board.
And the down payment for another deal has just arrived. Let's call it a great day.